All right, we live, baby. Oh shit, got my phone. Test, 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 test. Like that. Test, 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 test. Like that. Test, 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 test. Turn it down. Let's see. What can I see? This one to be out there finicky. Yeah, I know I'm not too familiar with the stream yard, so bear with me as I try to get reacquainted. Be smooth. I see you. Texas May, what's up? I'm gonna try to use both my phone and my laptop. Um, my camera isn't all that, so I'm gonna go ahead and warn y'all now. If you're looking for, um, crystal clear shit, it ain't gonna be the clearest. It ain't gonna quality ain't gonna be the best, but we here. We gonna make it work. So listen, people, get up in here. If you get a chance, if you could share this joint out for me, I do think that this information can be informative to some people. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm not here to push anything on anybody. But yeah, I know as per usual you don't be shooting no warnings. Um when I go through something, and as I have gone through things in my trucking career, logistics career now, um, you know, I just always share. So this is just more of that me sharing everything that's going on with my broker experience. You making money, so prove it and upgrade so the StreamYard logo is removed. Hey, bro, I ain't making no money. Who told that lie? I don't got no money. I'm a struggling fleet owner, a freight agent with no customers. Ain't made no money, not yet. Anyways, you hear me? I've been home for like a month and a half, no money coming in. You know what I mean? You know how that go. After I just finished doing my damn payroll, got my payroll set up through my bank. So this week will be the first week that that's gonna go through with all three drivers. So it's gonna be interesting how that's gonna go through. Like I'll get paid on Friday. I'm hoping that they'll get their first check on. Well, I'm not hoping. I know they're gonna get their first check on Tuesday. So that's gonna be interesting. See how that works out. I got payroll set up through my bank versus me trying to do it individually. Yeah, I'm taking my classes for broker and dispatch into the truck right now. Talk my shit for sure. So basically, um, I have recently um completed. When I say recent, I mean this morning. Completed a freight brokering class. Freight agent is the official term that I am. So I'm going to be working underneath somebody else's brokerage. Excuse me, and I'm going to be trying to acquire customers and carriers and all the whole shebang. Um, and so this is something I'm not going to lie and say that this is something that I've always wanted to do because I really had no idea about it when I first came into trucking. Um, but I can say that it fits the mold of a quote unquote lifestyle that I would like to live. Working from home, um, controlling my own hours, kind of controlling my own money based off of my performance and my ability to, bring in customers and whatnot, and the ability to, make as much money you know, as I can. A lot of times people work situations and jobs where you work super hard and you feel like you're going above and beyond, but you still aren't compensated your full worth. And I feel like with this type of situation that I've been blessed to partake in, I have an opportunity to kind of control my worth. My worth will be what I make it, and that's sometimes that can be rare in industries. It's just what it is. So, how this came about, I can't go into the full details because that would give away too much information. What I can say is that it was brought to my attention um, that a gentleman on YouTube by the name of the Great Sage Freight, the Great Sage, I always be messing his name up, man. I'm sorry, Eric. The Great Freight Sage Logic. If you're not subscribed to his YouTube and you're even remotely thinking about becoming a broker, I highly recommend subscribing to his YouTube, hitting the bell, following him because he's posting information daily. Daily, weekly. He's doing live feeds. I don't know what's going on with my throat, boss. He's posting daily and weekly videos speaking about brokering, speaking about the market, just little giblets here and there that before you even take the class, you can start to get a better understanding from Guilty Live. What do you mean? He was in Guilty Live? I didn't know he was in Guilty Live, but yeah, he kind of be all over the place networking. And so, like I said, his channel I think is a good channel to go to get some information from. This is not an ad. I'm not. My class is already done, so it's not really no incentive for me to tell you to go over there. Besides the fact that I think it's a good class. Put it see like this, man. I've learned some things in this class that moving forward, even just running my fleet, it will. I'm just gonna start looking at things a little differently. Things that I used to get mad at or I didn't understand. I just have a better understanding of it, and I think I'm better because of it. Um, it just teaches you. I'm trying to like go into what all you'll learn. You'll just get a perspective of what it is to have to go get customers, go get carriers, what to say, what not to say. Like it's not like from my understanding, a lot of these other broker classes or brokers on YouTube give you a lot of watered down ABC 1 2 3, shit that you'll learn and you'll know how to say it, but when a real life situation comes around, you may not know how to handle it. And it's so funny because in the actual class, we kind of look at some other situations, some other classes, and it's just like not even close. It's just not. So I definitely how do you actually get with him for the class? I would say either hit him up on YouTube. I was gonna try to get him in here. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna send him. Give me a second. I'm gonna send him a StreamYard and see if I can get him to participate. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna send him the link, and I can see if I can get him in here. That way, all questions that y'all have, y'all can ask him directly. You get it straight from the horse. That's what type of shit I'm on. What's his email at? I got a bunch of shit in front of me. I'm sorry, bear with me, y'all. It's a lot, a lot going on, man, when you trying to run a fleet, implementing new policies within your company, getting payroll set up, just trying to, keep your head above water while still moving forward and other things. But I love it though, you know what I mean? Because if you ain't busy, then you behind. That's the way I look at it at this point. I just sent him the link. So let's see if we get some if I can get him in here. Where would I get? I don't even know what. Oh, there you go. Okay. So yeah. So I mean, what was I? I'm trying to like figure out a way to speak on it without giving away too much. Yo, Jay, what's your math so we can link up? What's the number I always be giving out? Hold on. 757 58 205. I think that's my number. I think that look right. That look like I think that's my number. If it's wrong, then let me know. But I think that's my number. That's the number I give out anyways. A lot of weirdos out here, man. Still a lot of people that still feel some type of way towards YouTubers and different individuals. So you got to protect yourself at all times, which is another reason that I'm trying to be very careful and what I speak on and how I speak on in regards to this class, because one of the big things is you don't want to give away someone's intellectual property. So I don't want to come up here and go over, word for word what happened. Yeah, for sure, got to what was said in the class. But at the same time, I don't want to. I want to show and tell people like, yo, you can do this shit. Because I'll tell you this, man. When like on some real shit, bro, like it ain't even close the type of money that brokers are making versus truck drivers. It's not even close. Like it's like apples and sunflower seeds. You know what I mean? Like on some real shit. Like it's shit crazy. What that shit right there? Oh, is it a hold your hand class or is it an information dump? Nah, man, it's like it for sure ain't no hold your hand. You know what I mean? But he's definitely gonna make sure that you're understanding what he's saying to you. There's a lot of information to take in. But I honestly feel like if you have any experience as a owner operator, maybe booking your own freight or dealing with a load board or having to have conversations with brokers, any type of experience like that, then you kind of have an idea of, you know, somewhat of the gist of, dealing with as far as like, talking to the actual customers and shit like that. So it's a lot of information, but maybe it's just me. I don't feel like it was so unbearable to like, oh man, like dude, we gotta just, we gotta stop because I can't like, we it was two parts, and after the first part, actually I was supposed to do it one day behind the next day, and what ended up happening was I had some other, I just had too much shit going on. So I didn't finish my second portion until today, and I got quizzed. Like, yo, what's this? What's that? How do you do this? How you do that? And I think I got all, but like, I slipped up on one, but I knew it. I just had to kind of work and figure it out. But so I don't really think it's a lot of drastic, you know what I mean? Like where it's like, oh my god, how am I gonna take all of this? Like trying to remember a pre-trip. I don't think it's that bad, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But I may process information a little differently um, than the next man, so I can see where it can be for certain people. But I think he does a good job in gauging your, I don't know the word, intelligence levels, like how receiving it, because it is a one-on-one, face to face type situation. So a good teacher, a good instructor reads your facial expressions. Like if I'm talking to you, there's through a StreamYard or just a face to face conversation, and I'm looking at you. I can tell by your face if I'm a good instructor. I can tell by your facial expressions if you're confused. So me as an instructor, if I just continue to go and just leave you behind, that's bad on me as an instructor. And I think based off what he was telling me, that's kind of how a lot of these other broker classes are. Is that it's just like one size fits all. Like the teaching of it is, you know what I mean? Whereas with him, because it is a smaller class, it's a more is that him right there? Yep, there you go. Hold on. I'm about to get him in here. How do I get him in here? Bam! There you go.
There he is. What the hell's
What's
going
going on, brother?
What's going on?
Hey, I'm trying to do my best to explain to them the class without giving away too much. So I'd rather have you in here just to keep me in check, so I don't get, you know what I mean.
All right.
So this is the guy right here, y'all. For those who don't know, I'm sure most of y'all do. Great Freight Saves Logic. So any questions y'all have about the class, you can ask him as well as his YouTube. Hold on, let me go get his YouTube and put it. You go ahead and get in your spiel. I'm gonna go ahead and put your joint in the comments.
All right. I might have missed a little bit. I don't know what's going on with my thing there. I might have missed the beginning part there. Your notification didn't go out. So basically, what I'm doing, I don't know. Neither of them did. Oh, there's T Hill. So basically, what I'm doing is I am teaching. Well, I started teaching carriers how to be brokers, because if you want to know the secret on how to make money, basically all these carriers have brokerages, and they move their direct customers through the brokerage onto their trucks or onto outside trucks. And then I got hooked up with a couple people, and they were looking to get some agents trained. So they came to me and asked me to do some training. But then I put this out here, and a lot of the people were trained by other people, and they brought some information to me, and I was looking over that information. I was finding out that the information that they were being taught wasn't very good. Let's put it that way. It's to be nice. It wasn't very, it wasn't right. A lot of the other classes, they don't want to teach you. They want to teach you the go, cold call, make all that money, but they're not teaching you the other aspects, which is to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for monstrous lawsuits or liability or problems that can happen on the broker side. So I basically kind of put together a class and said, okay, I'm going to teach this, and I'm not going to teach how to sell. I'm going to teach how to solve. So my goal is to teach people how to solve customers' problems, not sell to customers. So rather than teaching people saying, hey, go out and get yourself a customer and cold call customers and cold call customers and cold call customers, what you need to do is be cold calling carriers. You need to establish yourself with a carrier, because once you're set up with a carrier, you can get that carrier's price, and now you can sell that carrier to that customer. And by doing that, it's easier for me to walk into a customer and say, look, I've got a guaranteed truck to move your freight, but here's my price. And then, but the price is a guaranteed truck who's going to, arrive on time, do the check calls, come get stuff, and make sure that it's handled properly. And that's a lot easier to sell than just throwing out there and cold calling a customer and saying, hey, can I move your freight? Can I move your freight? Can I move your freight? Because they can't find trucks. Because all you're actually doing is, if you don't have any trucks, all you are is an extension of their problems.
Right.
That's what we're looking to do. We're looking to actually solve their problems, because you will make more money solving people's problems than you will just selling to them. So that's pretty much what I do.
They got a guy right here. He's asking, how much is your class?
So I got a couple classes that I'm offering, and I even talked to Jay. Me and Jay even talked, and he thought it was a good idea. But so right now I have a broker class, like a full brokerage class is $1,200. But if you're looking for and that's if you were to have if you were looking to have a full brokerage and sub agents and things like that. And then if you're looking to just have the broker class, like you were going to possibly be an agent for someone else, or possibly do it, not have sub agents, that's $800. And then me and Jay were talking about, I was even thinking about almost I give two portions of the class. It's 2 4-hour classes. It's like one-on-one.
Yep.
So one portion of the class, I think I could almost do for $500. If you were just a driver, I'm giving you a lot of inside information onto why they're doing what they're doing. So if you weren't even looking to have a brokerage, I could be like, okay, this is the load board, this is truck stop, this is what I'm looking at, this is a 3PL, and I'm breaking it down so that you can understand almost exactly what's happening from the behind the scene of that brokerage, which gives you a little bit more leverage to be able to negotiate better with the brokers. And I do a lot of that on my YouTube channel. I explain this a lot, but it's kind of a one-on-one where I basically say, okay, let me show you what's going on. Let me show you, what they're looking at. And a perfect example is like there's a lot of times you guys give a price and then you sit for, I don't know, an hour waiting for them to come back to you. And a lot of times you guys are like, oh, they're just trying to find a cheaper truck.
Right.
There's actually a reason for that. They're waiting for a clock to run out because they're bidding on the load. So what I kind of do is I say, okay, here's what's going on behind the curtain. Here's what they're looking at. Here's how you can kind of squeak more money out of them. Here's what you can say to them. Because I know if you were a driver and if I were to tell you what my problems were as a broker, if you got on the phone with me and said, look, I'm going to do this, and this, and this, I'm going to be like, shut up and take my money. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're just solving my problems. And trust me, brokers, we get paid money because all we do is deal with problems sometimes. I'm a solo leased. I'm considering not driving after my contract is up. Would this be a class for me? It would. It's not a get rich quick scheme. I'm going to say that straight now. Anybody that's out there saying you can get rich in 8 days, you can. I'm sorry, you can, but it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's something that you're in the industry that you know, which is truck driving, right? It is something that I went, and I'll give you a little bit of my background just so everybody knows. So at 21, I got my CDL and I drove tractor trailer for Schneider. And then I got a local job at US Foods. Then I joined the Coast Guard, left the Coast Guard, got back and bought my own truck. No, even better. I went to CR England for like 21 days and I got like 2 paychecks and I'm like, oh, hell no. And then I left them and then I got my own truck and I went on to Landstar. I was a Landstar driver. I drove for FedEx Custom Critical, then Landstar, and then me and my wife were a Landstar agent. We were a $1.2 million Landstar agent. After I left Landstar's agency and I became a broker on my own. So I've gone all the way through from driving the truck all the way up to, being a broker now. So wasn't just like you were a lease driver. Your biggest contacts you're going to want to get to do what I do is you want drivers. Yeah. You want drivers. You can right now with customers, drivers are more important than customers. I'm working just at 5:00. I got somebody that says, hey, I need 3 flatbeds in Missouri to go to Oklahoma. What's my price? Trying to find trucks right now is the most important thing. So you absolutely could leave the driving job and end up doing this. My opinion is hook up with some trucks and sell those trucks to your customers. And by doing that, you have a better chance of getting guaranteed customers, if that makes sense. Is it a hold your hand class? It's one-on-one with me, and I go over pretty much everything that I go over, and Jay can answer. And then I say, okay, do you have any questions? Do you understand? And then from there, it's not like I'm just giving you a video to watch. You might watch one video, but that's me sitting there watching the video with you and explaining what happened there. But besides that, I'm there going over the information with you. And then my next statement is, okay, do you understand? Do you have any questions? Do you understand? Do you have any questions? And one of my skills is I'm very good, if you watch my YouTube, I'm very good at breaking things down to make sure you can understand why and what I'm talking about. So, and Jay that's a better question for him.
I was telling him before you came in, I definitely believe that the size of the class and the intimacy of the class helps a lot. I really don't think that this is a class, and not to knock anybody, because everything is a shot if you don't say it, to knock anybody who's went to whatever class. If you're going to this is not something that you can go sit in the classroom, in my opinion, with more than 5 people and fully understand and get everything out of that class. It has to be, because there's just so much information that's just coming in. And if you have some experience with the industry, cool, you might catch on quicker to some people. But if you are going into this and with very limited information about what you're getting yourself into, and you go in a class or you watch a video that has like 10 other people in there, I just feel like it's going to be the little small, because the one thing I've learned about this class as a freight agent, attention to detail is very important.
Yes.
And being in a larger class or being in a situation where you're not able to really receive everything, you're going to miss that small detail that can cost you a lot of money. So I don't think that is this situation just because of the size of it. It is a one-on-one experience, and you can stop it at any time. It's at your pace, and I think that's a big deal, versus just trying to keep up. I never felt like at any point in the class I was trying to keep up with you. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, I'm right here. Okay, hold on right quick. What about this? What about that? And then, I would ask you questions that's pertaining to VL just to use an example for me to understand.
You asked me questions about VL, allegedly. No, I'm just
kidding. Oh, yeah, for sure. Allegedly. Yeah. Let me go see these comments. I need to get a virus.
Let me do this. But no, and the other thing I did too with them is the class is basically, yeah, you can do that one or you can do this one. Hang on. Let me, you can do that one or you can do this one. So basically the class, what I do is I'll have like 3 people at the most and me, which is 4. And then what I do is, let's say you were someone who took the class already. What I do is I have somebody who's taken the class already come back in and sit while I teach new people. So while Jay was there, I had somebody there that was already taken the class once, and they were allowed to sit in again and just kind of listen to what I was going over. And if they had questions, they could ask questions, and it might be questions, Jay didn't think of, or Jay might ask a question that he didn't think of.
Right. So
you can come back through, and there's no charge for that. But you have to understand that you're there as a kind of as a listening person. As long as you're cool with me, I have to teach this person, and then you can kind of jump in, so you're not interrupting this guy's class because you've already taken it once, or girls' class. But you're welcome to sit in again and kind of be that returning student, which works well because then if I were to say something, there's times I'm like, okay, I talked to the other person and he was able to explain stuff too, and you end up teaching a little bit. But there's just a lot I'm doing even to get your brokerage if you are a carrier. I'm hooked up with a bonding company, and you contact me and I can get you set up with your bond. I'm hooked up with a factoring company. I get a great deal on factoring, which is Triumph, which is 1.99. So I got a DOT guy on just on Sunday. So I'm doing a lot with this. And what I'm basically seeing is basically what happened to me a long time ago, and I'll go into this, is what my wife needed to get out of the truck because she has anxiety and panic attacks and stuff. So I had to work from home. So I had to find something I could do work from home. Well, twice she signed up for a real estate that was a scam. And they took like $3,000 the first time, and then we got scammed out of $2,500. So the reason why I started to do this with the agent is all these other people were emailing me, telling me that they went to these other classes, not going to mention names, and they didn't learn anything. They didn't feel like they could actually do this. They didn't feel like they understood anything. They were just told to call, cold call. And I'm like, no, that is not basically how you do this. And to me, it's better to get a truck and then go to a customer, because then you have something to sell. So I got pissed off, and I basically said, you know what, I'm going to start doing classes. This is a bunch of crap. But I wanted to do classes that I was one-on-one with people so that they can understand and make sure that they know what it's all about. 1, to be a broker and a logistics person, and 2, basically what the liability and the possibility for problems you could have if you don't do it right. I mean, I can tell you, you can get yourself in big trouble if you don't do it right. So if we have any questions, I can probably rifle, because right now I'm surprised everybody's not hanging up. This guy's a broker.
Mom got a question for you right here.
What do you know about becoming self-insured? Okay, so self-insured. Okay, first, as a broker, we are not required to have insurance. So I don't have to carry insurance. I have to have a $75,000 bond. And to get that bond, it costs me about $1,500 a year for that bond to be covered. I can get insurance, but I don't have to be insured. And I'll explain that in a second. So being self-insured basically is like for you basically you're basically saying, I don't need to be insured. I have enough money to basically cover the $100,000 or their $1 million liability. Like Landstar is self-insured, which means that they're basically putting up whatever, $5 million, because I think Landstar has $5 million of insurance. They'll put up $5 million of insurance to cover that insurance. So a broker does not need to be insured, but a carrier does. Yeah. So a carrier is basically self-insured. You're basically stating that you have enough money or enough not property things to cover whatever the amount of the insurance is. So big carriers are self-insured. I'm trying to think of the numbers of some other ones. I know Landstar's 5 million. I don't know what Schneider has, but those guys obviously have enough money to be able to cover the $1 million of insurance through themselves, if that makes sense. Not sure, Mob, if you're rolling to be self-insured, me and you need to talk, brother. So just so you know, but definitely get with me if you got the money to self-insure that thing. I hope that helps. I'm not sure what you're looking for besides that. Is there an angle you're looking to go with that, or is it just asking how they can be self-insured? Yes, assets. Thank you. I was drawing a blank there. They have enough assets to carry themselves with the whatever coverage they have for self-insured. What's the reason of a beginner? I'm not looking to be rich. Okay, so it all depends on how hard. It might only take one customer. So when I was with Landstar as an agent, I made 7% of 98% of the line haul, and I ranged anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000. Now I do oversized freight now. But when I left, that was when I was doing legal freight with them. When I left Landstar, and I went in and basically I became my own broker and I ran my own numbers. So my first year leaving Landstar, I did like 282,000 doing oversized freight. After that, I did like 262, and then I got my own carrier. And then when I had my own carrier, I was doing a 80-20 split, and I think I made, and I have a video on this, but I had an 80-20 split, and basically I did, I think 50,000 on the 20 split, and I did 167,000 on the broker side. So it's all up to you. I mean, at some point, it depends on one customer and how many loads you get, basically, and how much you can cover. You could do 5 loads and make $500 on top of the load, or you can move one load and make $1,000, or you can move one load and make $200. This reminds me of ask again, information overload. What information am I overloading with? You ask me a question and I'll break it down, so I guarantee it won't be an informational overload. Any question you want. Obviously, that has to do with brokerage. If it's something other than that, I'm not sure.
What do you think is the biggest lie about brokers?
That they state, or that about being a broker?
The biggest lie that truckers may think about broker, because truckers think about brokers like shit. So,
I think one of the biggest things is all we do is sit by the phone and move and make a phone call, and we make too much money. So I want you a quick understanding of what a broker actually is. I'll break it down. So you have 3 parts of a broker. A broker is a dispatcher, an operations manager, and a salesman. All right. They'll do all 3. So the salesman goes out and gets a customer and works that customer, tries to get in the door of that customer, tries to win the customer's business. When the customer is finally convinced, that information comes back to the operations manager. The operations manager is now going to quote the freight and determine how much that freight should move for, or approximately what that freight should move for, and what type of equipment it needs to go on. Is it a flatbed? Is it a step deck? Is it a van? Is it a reefer? Is it a hot shot? All that type of stuff. From there, they then get to the person that you talk to, the driver talks to, which is the dispatcher. That's the guy behind the thing that talks to you. So after that load gets priced and everything, it goes down to him, and now it's his job to move that freight on a truck. So now he has to negotiate with a truck. So right off the bat, you've gone with 3 different people all doing one job. So I do all 3 jobs. C.H. Robinson has a dispatcher, that's who you talk to, probably an operations person who helps quote all the freight, and then has a separate person who actually goes out and pounds on doors. So there are three people, three different jobs, basically all doing to this one job. How do you find in looking into import brokerages? Okay, so there are three different in regards to here. There are three different terminologies for brokers. You've got a freight forwarder, a broker, and a 3PL. So, a freight forwarder, they take possession of the freight, and where they do is they move and the reason they take possession of the freight is they become the shipper, and they do that because that's going to leave the country. It's going to go to Canada. It's going to go to Mexico. It's going to go in a boat. It's going to go in a plane. That person is a freight forwarder. They can both move it by land and by sea. So they can do both of them. And the reason they take possession of the freight is so that they can insure it once it leaves the country. Because if I'm a shipper or a manufacturer, I don't have the insurance coverage to be able to cover something when it leaves this country. A freight forwarder does. So for imports, unless you're dealing with very small imports, which is like, small boxes and stuff, our import brokers would be called a freight forwarder. And that would be that person in regards to trucking. They would deal with cargo ships. They would deal with planes. They would deal with going to Mexico, Canada. I actually think a freight forwarder should deal with California because they're a different country. But they don't. So besides that,
what is the main thing if I'm selling this class, or if I'm looking to go into, being a freight agent, and I know nothing about nothing, which I didn't based off what you told me. What separates your class from all the other Joe Schmoes?
From what I'm seeing, what separates me is, one, I'm still an active broker, just so everybody knows. I'm still moving freight, which I technically still am right now, and still getting emails as we speak. But the other thing that I'm seeming to notice is that I'm not going to tell you, I'm not a rah, go, get them, guys. I'm going to basically say, okay, here's what you actually are becoming. So I'm not going to tell you to go out and just cold call and try to then get a price and then try to get a truck. I'm going to explain to you exactly what a broker's job is. I'm going to tell you what the expectations of the customers are, expectations of the driver, your expectations. I'm going to go over what's called CARMAC, the CARMAC amendment. I'm going to explain to you what you're actually doing in this industry. You are one of the highest people in this industry at this point as a broker, and it is one of the largest industries in the world. Transportation is one of the largest industries in the world. Yeah. Roads were built for it. Trains were built for it. Boats are built for it. Canals are built for it. Lots of people don't understand that trucking, when you're a truck driver, you're technically just entered a career in one of the largest industries in the world. So I make sure that you understand that the position that you are now in as a broker is a very important one, and you are open to extremely lawsuits if you do it wrong. So once you connect with a customer, does the broker determine the rate? Okay, here's kind of something that's a little deceiving, and the broker wants to say yes, but to completely honest, if I make up a rate and there's no truck to haul it, I'm screwed. So he might think he's telling you what the rate is, but it's kind of a mind game. The person that actually decides the rate is the guy who puts it on his truck and actually hauls it. Because I can make up any number I want, but if no truck will take it for that price, I'm screwed because I can't move it. So the reason that a lot of drivers think that the brokers make the rate is that they need to go in and say, well, this is my rate. If you want me to move that load, this is what you will have to pay me. And either drivers are afraid of leaving money on the table, or drivers don't know how to quote their freight in regards to moving that. So what I'll do is I basically say, what's your price? Okay. And then I go back to the customer and I get my money on top of your money. And then that's how I move my loads. And that's why I've only taken like a $25 loss in 14 years, because I got nothing to lose, because as long as you're going to do it for that price, I just got to sell you to my customer. And then from there, right. He's looking to import cards. I would find a freight forwarder, which I am not. I can put you in touch with one, but I would find a freight forwarder for that. They would be the ones that would handle importing cars. That's an easy one. I'm just going to put him into somebody else other than me.
What would be your advice, without giving too much of the class away, to owner operator, whether lease operator, owner operator, to maybe better their relationship with their brokers?
Take my
Let's say that. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's so hard because I don't want to give anything away, but yeah, pretty more or less.
Just understand that the relationship that you're having, that you have with this person that you're dealing with, is basically a job interview. That first meeting between you and the broker, he knows nothing about you and you know nothing about him. So that's like coming in off the street and applying for a job. You're applying for a job, but you don't know each other. So you got to get a feeling for him and he's got to get a feeling for you. And both of you need to be professional about it. And if that broker's not professional, walk away. But on the same note, if a driver isn't professional in regards to what he does, I have to walk away. Because right now I'm trying to hire someone to haul a load for my customer. And I need to know if this person's the right fit for me and my customer. And so when you go into talking with brokers, you want to do that interview with them, but you also want to interview them because there are some shitbag. I don't like brokers. Trust me. I get all my money because brokers are stupid, because I do overdimensional freight, and I'm not the guy. I'm the guy that other brokers have screwed it all up and customers are calling me.
Right.
I move things that are like 20 foot tall, 20 foot wide. I move things that are 100 foot long. So the things that I'm moving is not your average OD. I do quality, not quantity. So for me, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm getting my customers because some other dumb broker has gone out and given a stupid price and now can't get it moved because they didn't know what they were doing. I love dumb brokers. They make me a lot of money.
Same with dumb drivers. So I know what you mean.
That's just kind of where I make my money, is because of that. But I've also been doing this for so long. There are dumb brokers out there, and there are some scumbag brokers out there, and you just have to say, I ain't working for you, bro, and walk on them.
Right.
And the broker that's an interview between you two. Enter it like you're entering an interview, if that makes sense.
Right. You got a guy here, Z Simply Hauler. He wants to sign up. What do people need to do?
Because I talk to everybody. So shoot me an email with your phone number, and I'll give you a ring, basically. And like I said, if you're looking to get your own authority, if you're coming out, I have my factoring company, I have the bonding company, and I'll take it baby steps. Here's what I did, just so everybody knows. If you are looking to get your own authority, if you are looking to go out on your own, okay, or you've been on your own as an owner operator for 6 months or so, you want to get direct customers. I've hooked up with a company called Freight Connect, FR8 Connect. So you can email me and I'll send you his information. What he does is you pay him whatever his fee is. I'll let him discuss that. And he will get you direct customers. He will be your sales force. He'll go out, make the contacts. He'll teach you about the freight trends. He'll teach you how to talk to customers. He'll do all your cold calls. After that, he basically gets you in a meeting to have direct customers. Now, you have to have a carrier for this because he does this for carriers. After that, I get you set up for the brokerage. I teach you how to broker the freight. By the time we're done with you, you're a mini mega carrier. Hang on.
I see you, Calvin. What up?
Oh, Lord. Here it comes. Here comes Calvin.
Calvin the man.
Yeah, I like Calvin. I have a going thing with him because we never seem to connect to each other. So we keep leaving, voicemails on each other's phones about
right.
So go back and forth like, 10 times. But so, like I said, so my goal is I want carriers to have direct customers. And if you're a carrier, you need a brokerage. You need a brokerage so that you can broker the freight that you can't haul with your direct customers. And that's basically how I started all this. Where are we at? Do you feel that some of the drivers that scalp rates are missing with the market? What's he mean? Scalp rates? Take cheap rates?
That's what I would assume he's referring to.
Okay. The problem with that is,
what's up, Lo?
There's no such true thing as a cheap rate, unfortunately, because if somebody, let me give an example before everybody hangs up on me. There's no way to know what you need to get someplace. And I'll give you an example. There are times that my trucks have hauled $20 a mile loads out someplace, right? But my drivers were commissioned. So rather than just take nothing back, my driver might take $1.50 freight back to get back to my customer to be able to haul again. Okay. So some guys are, when you have a direct customer, you might haul out for $3 a mile, but your goal is to get back to that direct customer as quickly as possible. But you don't want to go back empty. So you might take a cheaper rate to go back so that you're turning some type of profit to go back. That's what the broker board was actually for. Brokers were actually for direct customer freight to come back on it, not just to haul freight constantly. 40 seems, what would a overall startup cost for someone trying to get into the field not having any establishment yet? Are you talking carrier or broker side? Just so I know. Because I can do broker side and I can estimate carrier side right now, but I can do broker side pretty quick.
Hey, we got 63 people in here. I need all y'all to hit the like button, and I need y'all to share this out, man. This good information right here, and ain't nobody charging y'all right here. He gonna charge you for the class, but y'all getting some free, gems right now, man. So all y'all be talking about, oh, he always in drama and blah blah blah. This is as good as you gonna get it right here. You got an active broker who's making a ridiculous amount of money, or at least has, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right now I do about 130, and I'm, so partially retired. Basically,
partially retired doing 130. Some of y'all not gonna make 130. You OTR running coast to coast right now. That's not a shot. It's just the truth. So you have the information right here. You have the person. I'm trying my best not to say nothing because all the information is coming from here. So ask them questions, share this joint out, hit the like button. You know what I mean? Because it's not always going to be here. Everybody ain't going to always want to come up on YouTube and talk this much for especially when he has a service that is proven and people are making money out there. They're taking the class. They're doing well. So eventually he going to get to a point he ain't going to talk to none of y'all. Because he going to be like, nah, fam, you got to pay me $30 just to have a conversation. Because I know my shit's good. So you better get it now while he's willing to sit down on my channel or whoever channel he's going to and talk to y'all. You better get it now. That's all I'm saying. So
thank you. Like I said, when I charge one-on-one, right? Mike, does that sound?
Yeah, you're kind of going in and out. I don't think that's me.
Hang on. Let me try that right there. That might be better. Okay.
There you go.
Basically, it's one-on-one, and that's what I'm paying for. So Mob wants to know the price of the brokerage. All right, you guys are gonna figure out this real quick. Why every trucking company has a brokerage. All right. So the price of the brokerage is the first thing you have to do is get an LLC. You want to separate it from your trucking company, right? So whatever the cost of your state LLC is, get a separate LLC. Once you get the LLC, you're going to get a quote for your bond. Your bond's a $75,000 bond. It's based on your personal credit score. My personal credit score is about 650. My bond's about $1,500 a year. That's it. $1,500 a year for my bond. After that, you're going to file with the FMCSA. I believe that's $300 unless you have a service do it, but I think it's $300. Then you're going to need a BOC. I can't remember what that costs. I know that there's a company that'll do all of that for $525. So let's say $1,500 plus $500 is $2,000.
I got you low.
On the high side is $500, right? So now we're at $2,500. Besides that, you're going to need a UCR, which is $67. Let's say it's $100. That's $2,600. You're done. You're done. So your first year is about $2,600 for your brokerage to get your brokerage. Now you have a brokerage. You wait 21 days and it's active. Now, here's the rub. Basically, until it's been open for about 6 months, you're going to have a very, very difficult time getting carriers to give you credit. So what I've been telling people to do, UCR, Unified Carrier Registration, because you have a DOT number with a brokerage, the government wants their money. So even though you don't have any trucks, you still have to get a UCR, which is a Unified Carrier Registration, just like a carrier. Don't ask me why. That's the government. It's going to be very difficult for you to get credit. So what I tell people to do is get your brokerage and stick it in your pocket. Just hold that bad boy for like 6 months. Now you can broker down to your own trucks if you have direct customers, but outside carriers, it's going to be very difficult to get credit with them until 6 months. It's just the way it is. Nobody wants to trust these brokers. They think you're going to steal the money and then run off. So 6 months it takes about for you to be able to get credit with Triumph or different factoring companies plus carriers. So your first year is going to be all you need is $2,500. After that, all you need every year, you don't need insurance, you don't need anything else. All you need is your bond, $1,500, and your UCR. So let's say after that, it's about $1,600 a year to run your brokerage. Now, other things you can obviously are going to need to get would be DAT board, which is, let's say, but again, the last place I put my loads is on the broker board. The last place. I don't think I've put a load on the oh no, I did recently. Besides that, I probably put 5 loads a year on the load board because I don't want to deal with the load board. I don't want to give my freight to people I don't know. I don't want to do 500 interviews. I want to call a driver and say, "Come get my freight." And they're like, "I'm on it," and I know their price. So, you're going to need but if you don't have that, you're going to need a board to post it on. So monthly, let's say that's $200 for that. And then maybe some type of software. If you use a TMS service, which is a transportation management service. What do I use? Spreadsheets. I've been using spreadsheets for, 12 years. I move all my loads with spreadsheets. So I don't even have a transportation management system. I get the truck stop for $35 because I've had it for 12 years. Now it's like $200 something. So mine's pretty cheap. But that's about it. That's your expenses. You can get insurance, which is called contingent insurance, which only means it only covers insurance if the carrier has insurance. And it will only cover what the carrier doesn't cover. But to be completely honest with you, if the carrier's insurance denies the claim, your insurance is going to deny the claim. It's just the way it works. So hypothetically speaking, you say, accept a load from a new carrier, new customer, and the carrier accepts the load, then the carrier does not pay you. So what happens with the old trick of the brokerage and why they raised the bond from 10,000 to 75 was a broker would go out and get a bunch of customers and move, let's say, a bunch of loads. Let's use simple numbers. So let's say they moved $20,000 or $25,000 worth of freight. The customer pays them. They never paid the carrier, and then the brokerage goes and files for bankruptcy and keeps the $25,000. So at that point, scratch that. I meant the customer. Then the customer does not pay you. Okay. Oh, so hypothetically, you say, bring the other one back. So hypothetically speaking, you get a new customer. Then the carrier accepts the load, but the customer does not pay you. Okay. So one of the things you're doing that I do is I have Triumph, which is a bank, as my factoring company, right? So when I get a new customer, they're going to run my credit check, right? Once they run that credit check, I'm going to tell them that Triumph, the bank, is my factoring company. So at that point, Triumph's going to come back and say, yes, these people are good, or no, these people are not good. If they say, yes, they're good, then Triumph I send my invoice and they have to pay Triumph. If they don't pay, let's just say a bank is going to be doing all my collection calls. So I've never had anybody not pay. I have had one person go 80 days. And then once I got a hold of them and said, hey, you are almost at 90 days and you need to pay me immediately, they wired me the money. It was a screw up in their system. So they say, I believe them because they immediately wired the money. And they've never not paid me before. But besides that, I've never had anybody not pay me as a customer. And it can be done without personal credit. Okay, the only thing you need for your personal credit is your bond. Your surety bond is based on personal credit. But like I said, get the free quote from Bonding Solutions or shoot me up and I'll send you his contact information. And I've got some pretty good quotes for that in regards to Bonding Solutions.
All right, y'all. I hate to be that guy, but for any more information, man, you got to take the class, man.
All right.
You gotta take the class because you know what I mean. Like it's a lot of information being given right now, and I don't want my man to give away too much of his info because I definitely think that the class is worth it. So I wanted to come up here and give him an opportunity to speak for himself because I do know that in the last couple of weeks we have had a lot of like you could say scam, you could say misleading. And so the purpose of this, I didn't want to, put you up here because I really don't want you to give away a lot of your stuff. But I do want them to see that, and I think that of the 64 people in here, they should know, like, okay, this dude know what the fuck he talking about. Like,
watch my video. Oh, what the hell? Watch my videos too. I mean, you can watch my videos and you see that I'm not a scam. One, I wouldn't get the deal that I got from Triumph, the business capital, if I was. They just wouldn't be doing it. And then two, watch my videos. If you don't think I know what the hell I'm talking about after I'm watching my videos, I don't know what to tell you. And for me, it's like, I don't want you to leave my course unless you understand. I just don't want you to leave. I need you to know. Let me answer one more with Mob because this is one I think he needs to know. Okay. If you have a 3PL and they do not pay, that 3PL, you go to the shipper, whoever the customer was that their person was, and you can absolutely start calling that shipper direct because that shipper still is required to pay you. Just because they're using a 3PL, if a true 3PL, I don't know if this is a true 3PL, is a auditing system. So they are just auditing invoices and paying you. But the shipper is still by law per Carmack amendment required to pay you. So you can absolutely contact the shipper of that goods and say that the 3PL has not paid me. You must pay me. And they by law have to pay you. He would feel it should be free.
And y'all see, y'all got Mob in here. You got Calvin Leaks.
I got Smooth here. Listen, there's a way. Either you pay attention or you pay for my attention.
That's a fact.
So at some point, once you want to pay for my attention, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Besides that,
anything you want to say in closing, like in regards to just your class or people who are still kind of hesitant?
If you're hesitant, just put my channel in there. All they have to do is watch some of my channels and just watch some of my videos. I mean, I'm breaking down. Like I said, I had a DOT guy on his services. I got him down to, you guys don't want to know. If you have a carrier and you have 10 trucks or less for $1,200 a year, he's yours for a year. And he's an FMCSA inspector. So I got guys on that are coming on. So even if you're not interested in the classes or whatever, shoot me an email. I break a lot of other stuff down. Check out the YouTube channel and just see what else I'm offering because I'm trying to hook up with a lot of people to bring a lot of knowledge to the industry. I've been in it forever. So that's all I'm trying to do here. And to me, I just think every single carrier should have a brokerage, and I can break down why. I break it down in my videos. If you don't believe me after that, I don't know what to say. I'm a truck entrepreneur. Like both of you, I'm having trouble understanding the business aspect of trucking. Any advice? Email me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tell me your contact information.
Yeah.
Your phone number, because I don't like typing. I'm a talker, obviously, as you can tell. How much is it? There's $1,200 for the 800 and then 500. So $1,200 is if you were going to have a broker and have agents and have a bunch of people underneath you. 800 if you were just going to be the broker and basically not have agents at that point. And then 500 if you're just a driver wanting to kind of know all the inside information. And I do a StreamYard. I don't send it to YouTube. I record it. It's one-on-one. I'll do a screen share. I need to see a video and we just kind of talk. And then I do screen share and then I go over a bunch of things. Joe, I go over.
James, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Hey James, I'm not hiring no more right now, brother. I'm sorry, you missed that boat. I'm cool with my 3. My 3 is enough mental stimulation for now. So I'm cool. I'm sorry you missed that. I thought about bringing on some more guys, but I apologize, brother. You can still apply to VL 100% and pool as a company driver. Listen, man, y'all ain't got to go lease a truck right now. You go be a company driver at 1099 and still make good money. You ain't got to lease a truck. You ain't got to go pool for your favorite YouTuber. There's still plenty of money out here to where you can go and make money pulling damn near anything right now. So, let me read a couple comments. I got that 8 for you. Might sit no way. Do you do if they come with a husband and a wife? How does that affect the rate? Is it still 8 per person, or how does that?
What they're looking for, a lot of that is if they're looking for like the full brokerage, like the 12. So I'll do a 12 and an 8, or it depends on what they want for that. Usually, but a lot of times I'll do like 1.5 type thing if they wanted to do that and they were coming in together. I usually do 1.5 for husband and wife type thing.
Okay. Let me see. If I'm overload, no sleep. Look at B Smooth, $10. Hey, you never told me how that went, B Smooth. We all part of the work. So yeah, man, that's just what I wanted to do, man. I wanted to come up here, not for too long, introduce you guys to him because I could tell you. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna tell y'all just like I told y'all about Cooley, just like I told y'all about Calvin Leaks. There is no reality where you should be subscribed to my YouTube and not subscribed to this gentleman's YouTube. That's just what it is. I mean, that's not, I know once upon a time I used to be cheerleader for a certain clique of people. Those were for different reasons, but this shit is legit. Like the people that I'm, connected to now, networking with now, talking to now, they got businesses behind them. They got credibility behind them. They got assets behind them. So it's a little different, you know what I mean? So if you're not subscribed to Call Me Cooley, Calvin Leaks, Be Smooth, Mob, Josh, Eric here, Great Free Sage, then you guys are really missing out on probably the last leg of what we consider good YouTube trucking information. All y'all do is get up on YouTube and complain about all the YouTubers you don't like, but you never tell us what YouTube you should watch. So I'm here to tell you, if you're looking for good trucking information from, I'll say, a year of experience to like owning your truck, authority, brokerage, and stuff like that, Calvin Leaks, Call Me Cooley, Be Smooth, Great Freight Sage, and I'm forgetting somebody. If I forget some name, I apologize. It's not done intentionally. Lil Sean, you know what I mean? Subscribe to them channels, watch them, listen, because you better get it while it's available for free. Because after a while, Cass is just going to be, like they ain't going to want to talk to y'all because all y'all do is complain. So, like, that's just what it is, man. So let me see. Read through these last little video joint right there. That's his YouTube. I'm gonna share one of his videos after this. I'm gonna put it in my community. So you looking for his and I'll probably put it in the comments of his live feeds too. So shout out to the hashtag replay gang that's gonna watch the replay of this. Click on that link and go subscribe to my man's channel. And I also put his email down there as well so that you can reach out to him directly.
Absolutely. I don't know. I'll find somebody.
Okay. So what you say again? I'm sorry, I got a text.
Know something? I'm gonna find somebody.
Facts. But that's what it's supposed to be about. That's what networking is. That's what that's how YouTube should be. Unfortunately, it's not always that. So we're gonna get it back right. What up, Brandon? I see you, but you late. So we finna get up off here, man. I don't know when I'm going live again because I'll be busy. I'll be super busy. So I'm gonna try to go live again maybe end of this week, and I'll tell you guys how much being a fleet owner is driving me crazy. And I'll give you guys a little inside info on that.
We talked about that.
Yeah, that's a fact. But as always, y'all know the vibes. Stay safe, stay positive, stay productive. And remember, man, keep pushing. Your goals are closer than what you think they is. Check you guys on the next live feed. We out.
See you.